I didn't realize how much I would miss my nipples, which sounds weird. Like you're going through all your treatments and all of your things that you have to do to live. And those things come later.
Every time you get undressed, every time you take a shower, every time you go to the gym, you are constantly reminded when you see the scar. There's no avoiding it.
After the mastectomy, the scarring to me is so nasty that if I can't see it, I don't want anyone to see it.
I was diagnosed June 17th, 2011, and I remember that day very vividly because it was my kid's last day of school. I was 35. I was not supposed to be having regular mammograms. I had some pain in the same breast 2 years prior, and I had gone to get a mammogram and there was nothing. So when I was 33, there was nothing. When I was 35, stage 4 breast cancer. I had a bilateral double mastectomy. There's a lot of different emotions people go through when they're going through something that drastic. For me, I really tried hard to stay on top of my emotions and to stay really strong. I had 3 pairs of eyes watching me all the time to see how I was dealing with this kind of stuff. Those are long months when you're going through treatment. I don't know how I would have gotten through it without my husband and my kids. I'm so lucky and so thankful every day that my husband was nothing short of amazing for me. I'm very, very lucky.
I was taking a shower and I happened to run my hand across my breast. When you say lump, to me, I get the assumption that it's the big ball, because lump just sounds like it's something huge, and it really wasn't. It was smaller than the size of a BB. Wasn't expecting cancer at all. I was only 34. I went ahead and did a bilateral double mastectomy. My husband and I, we'd been together for 6 years. I think he just didn't know how to handle it. It's the best way I can describe it, which ended up being the demise of our relationship altogether.
I was considering doing breast reduction. I had my reduction, and a couple weeks later with my follow-up checkup, I was told by my OB that I had breast cancer. The cancer cells were in the actual ducts, just behind the nipple. So he said that it was good that they were contained within the ducts. So it was a matter of just going in and having them removed. So that's when I went ahead and opted, after having a second opinion, to go ahead and have my mastectomy.
After the surgery, the first thing I saw was the scarring.
The scars, they really stand out at the beginning. They're really all you see.
When I go, let's say, to the Y, and I have to undress in the dressing room, then it hits me like, oh, don't do that. Or I catch somebody kind of looking at me out the corner of their eye, and I know they want to ask, but they don't ask. So it's that odd pause of they're just looking at me, but they're not. Then it brings it back to my conscience. Then it all comes back. And it's like, I wish that when I looked at myself that I didn't have to think about it.
Every day I pass the mirror and I'm like, not happy. It didn't really hit me till later that I would be so concerned about not having my nipples. Like when you're in the thick of it, you are just, we gotta do this, gung-ho, gotta do what the doctors are telling me. Once you've healed and once you kind of, the fuss of cancer and the major hubbub of everything is done, you know, you have those quiet moments where you see yourself and you're like, well, this isn't good enough. To not have a part of you you've had your whole life and is now not there and makes you look different. They don't look like normal breasts. They're alien-like they're not human.
I didn't feel like they were breasts. I felt like it was just an added portion of my body. It wasn't me.